All right. It's mini-sode time, guys.
Yes.
Everybody, welcome back to The Luck We Had, a shameless recap podcast. This is a mini-sode of season 11, episode 6. Do not go gentle into that good. Screw it. This is going to be coming out on February 23rd instead of a new, longer maxi-sode, because our lives happen, and we want time to breathe and do other things. Plus, also, the Fiona Hall of Shame is just gonna have just happened when this comes out.
And I forgot we're getting that one soon.
We'll discuss that in whatever next recording we do after that happens, but I'm not expecting a whole lot.
I mean, I'm excited for the scenes, like, from the Gallagher family, because the premise is that Fiona's on, like, a reality dating show, and they're interviewing her family, which is dumb as hell and, like, not really realistic to Fiona's character.
Like it's so out of character.
But like, it'll be fun to see the family talk about her. At least I know Debbie's gonna be a bitch and be like,
yeah, because I feel like since she's left, no one's made a single comment about her. She's mentioned probably more by like Ian than Debbie probably.
They mention her in passing a couple times, but it's like they really only talk about how she like skipped out and like left, and they never are like, oh, I talked to Fiona like the other day. Like, there's no indication that any of them are still in contact with her.
Yeah. Goddamn.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that minisode was like, or what that Hall of Shame was like that happened on Sunday when this comes out a few days after that. But yeah, today we're talking about 1106, possibly one of the best episodes they've done in years.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Like, in fucking years. It's definitely one of my favorite Mickey episodes now. It's like, I think at least number 3 of my favorite Mickey episodes. But it was, I even FaceTime Lena afterwards. I need to, because everybody in my house was asleep, and I just was like walking around my room.
You were like,
I'm standing. I need to talk about this.
It was a good episode.
Oh, by the way, I'm Amanda, and there's Evan and Lena also here.
We're here. We're always here.
And we're here to talk about this episode. So let's go person by person. Let's start with Liam. Let's start youngest Gallagher.
Not enough.
Let's start with Liam.
Not enough, Liam.
That poor boy.
He is so neglected, and like, honestly, I guess we can get into spoilers because, like, we're just talking about the episode as a whole. But it's like, okay, when they brought up, like, selling the house, I was like,
where's he gonna go?
Where's he gonna go? I hope he goes to the Inn and Mickey, because it's like, someone needs to look after him. He's like, I'm a baby, I'm a child.
If anything, like, I would think maybe Lip would probably take authority of him just because he is, like, the next oldest. But I feel like Tammy wouldn't be up for that.
No, so, I mean, because Lip was the whole one who was like, we should sell the house for me and my baby and my girlfriend. And it's like, okay, yes, but like yes, I understand like why he's, and like I really do think that that's like a pretty good idea for them. They're like, let's make gentrification work for us. Bigger picture, like what that says about gentrification and how you should respond to it, I'm not sure what the implications are, but like I feel like because of his reasons for wanting to sell the house, he wouldn't want to take Liam in.
Honestly, give Liam to Kevin V.
So true, but they already have 2 kids. Well, because Kevin V might be moving to Kentucky.
If anything, Kevin V would take in fucking Carl.
Yeah, it's like Carl's not ready to live on his own.
He just moved into like the basement, quote unquote, but like he's still like 19 years old. I don't know, like obviously don't know like what the pay is for cops like that, but like he's not getting livable pay already for being that young.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not like Carl's not ready to live on his own, like maybe he is, but like Carl's not ready to live on his own and be the one taking care of Liam.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like, he could probably swing an apartment by himself and be comfortable, but, like, not taking care of his little brother, too.
Debbie can barely take care of Franny. She's not taking care of Liam.
Yeah, I mean, plus, like, in general, I feel like with on-screen relationships, Carl and Liam aren't, like, super close. I feel like the best fit for Liam would honestly be going with Ian, because it seems like Ian really does like him. I know the show would probably, like, stick him with Debbie, because it's like, oh, Debbie's mommy. She's gonna take care of everybody.
Debbie doesn't take care of Franny.
Exactly. Debbie kind of just wants a place with Sandy. I don't know, ship Liam off to live with Fiona.
Yeah, not enough Liam, and that poor boy is just suffering in this entire episode.
He's going through, like, freaking, like, basically, like, survivor's guilt, quote unquote. Like, that poor boy, like, and I didn't like that, like, I'm glad that, like, Carl didn't make him feel bad about it, obviously, now that he's, like, big cop boy. But, like, the just being, like, hide the gun. Like,
well, he was like,
give that
I
boy
shot Terry.
some therapy.
Because he's like, I shot Terry. But it's like, no, he shot into the air and the bullet just happened to hit Terry. You didn't shoot the gun with the intent to kill Terry or to hurt him.
And nobody should ever feel bad about shooting Terry. Like,
yeah,
nobody.
as well. But it's like, if you're gonna feel bad, it wasn't even his fault in the first place. It just like happened.
I'm very glad that Carl did say that.
But then also, like, we were talking about Carl, so let's get into the Carl part of it all. I hated every moment of it.
I didn't enjoy it one bit.
I think it's fun that they have Carl like go for like thicker girls though. Okay, like this is just a personal thing because like, okay, that girl has a very similar body type to me, even though they made her out to be a dick at the end. But it's like also thinking about Anne from the last season, like I'm like, okay, Carl and the thick girl is like, okay,
he likes a thick girl.
He likes the thick girl, and I'm like, I'm thick girl. Makes you feel appreciated a little bit.
Representation, we love
representation.
To see it.
So true. Yeah, I mean, okay, honestly, when she took her mask off, I deadass thought that it was Julia.
Dude, that's exactly what I said to Sebastian. I was like, she looks like a mix between the MILF and the daughter from last season. I was like, it's really scary. I think it's just more the round face and the bangs is what got me, but like, it looked too scarily similar to me. I'm glad that you thought you saw that too.
Yeah, she looked like Julia. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Amanda did not like Carl's flirting.
No,
it was really awkward.
No, I don't know. Carl is such like he's at such a weird, awkward age that I feel like Ethan doesn't even know how to act it because like he's still supposed to be 19 years old, but now he's big, bad, and bougie. So like I feel like he doesn't even know like how to handle it, and like his flirting. No, thank you.
I think it's just hard because we've seen them grow up. So for us, there's always going to be some level of like uncomfort with watching them do like sex scenes and things like that. And well, like I know
it's not even that I was uncomfortable. It just seemed like he was uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, that
it did
too.
Seem
but
like
it's like
he was uncomfortable.
But it's like Emma. Like Emma hasn't done a sex scene, like a legit one. She hasn't done any nudity, and it's like I respect her for that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like, okay, when the show started, like Cameron and Jeremy were like still teenagers, but they were at the point where it was like, okay, this is kind of like they're almost adults. We don't feel that weird about watching them like kiss people or have makeout scenes. And then obviously as they got older, it was like they already started kind of almost as adults, but it's like we watched them grow up from being like little kids.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a little bit uncomfortable to have them have serious love storylines.
And then also a show that a few seasons ago played off a man getting sexually assaulted as a funny thing that Debbie did no wrong in, and then turn it around and be like, oh, but male sexual assault. Like, no, bitch. You don't get to have it both ways.
Well, like, okay, when I rewatched, the thing with Derek was obviously like, okay, well, with Maddie, it was like Maddie very much had the role of being like the normal outside person, of being like, that was fucked up. I can't believe you did that to me, like pissed off.
He was so sweet.
But it was like Lip and Debbie were like, when they were talking, he was like, oh, anybody would be like so lucky to have sex with you. And it was like, okay, I think you're supposed to know that like the Gallagher perspective is like super fucked up, but it's like, you're not doing a good enough job of like really explaining what the right answer is.
Yeah, and especially of it coming so, like, not saying that it was out of nowhere, but for her just to be so deadpan, being like, so did you say no? And he was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, yeah, by the way. Like, it was just very, like, and then the next scene just happened and there was no speak about it. Like, they just wanted to remind us, even though we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
Coming from the mouth of Debbie, who literally just got her ankle bracelet off for statutory. And we've seen her do this exact thing in the past. Like, from her mouth, with Mickey sitting right there.
Yeah, for her to be the one to say it.
I mean, I wouldn't have expected Mickey to be not educated enough, but I wouldn't have expected Mickey to be like, oh, like, she raped you. But I would have, like, appreciated, like, a cut to him or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
A cut to him would have been nice.
Like, some sort of subliminal messaging of, like, hey, parallels.
I feel like wasn't his one of like the very first like on screen kind of like acknowledged like scenes between that before Debbie, right? Like him and Svet.
Yeah. Well, that and then him and Ian like kind of have a conversation after. Not really. It's like when they're in the abandoned building and he's like couldn't stop thinking about what happened, because it's like they both know that it was like rape.
Yeah.
But they refuse to acknowledge it.
But like they don't ever say the word, and they don't ever deal with the with the emotional consequences.
Yeah, which Shameless never likes to do.
But speaking of shitty storylines like that, Debbie's
Debbie's
storyline was only interesting because Sandy's part of the storyline was interesting.
Finally, we get to hear her part. Like, finally, like, we've been living off this Sandy line for, like, since last week's episode, and we barely even saw her. And now we finally get to see her, but I'm still not satisfied with the information we're given from Sandy.
Well, I mean, she was like, basically the rundown is like, I met Royal when she was what, like 16?
She said like 15, I think.
Yeah, he promised me a better life. I said I was young. I said yes, so we got married. I tried to make it work, but I was gay, so I ran away, and she's been living out of her car / couch surfing ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like we'll know more next episode because I know Royal is supposed to come like make an appearance, but it's
we're actually supposed to see him now?
Yeah, but I guess I wonder like why he is so hung up on her. If he's really rich,
yeah, if he's like chasing after her again. Do we know how old Sandy's supposed to be? Probably like what, like early 20s?
Debbie's age, I mean like 19, 20, maybe 21.
I mean, Royal could also just be like an abusive, obsessed partner that like won't let her go.
Yeah, probably he like likes the control.
I feel like Shameless is gonna do something though, but like it's gonna be like something very like minimal and tame, or like she did something and he's like looking after for her or something. I feel like there's gonna be more of like the drop of the hat than just like what we've already been told, knowing Shameless. Because I feel like they're not just always just one thing. There's always that one little quirk that they give them that you're just like,
Unfortunately, knowing that Elise does not appear after episode 8 makes me think that he takes her away, that he wins, and that she just kind of like disappears.
Interesting.
Which is really unfortunate because I like her a lot. While I think she deserves better than Debbie, I do like her a lot, and I like seeing her, and I would honestly put that past. I would like put my Debbie hatred like away just so I could be like,
Sandy.
More Sandy?
Yeah.
More Sandy,
because they just kind of like, she's the one other Milkovich besides like Mickey and Mandy, and like we don't care about Terry, that we learned more than just like their names and their significance to the Milkovich family. Like she's the one other character that we finally get to like meet again, and like sad that she was only created because the actress who played Mandy was like,
I was gonna say that because her and Jeremy are on not great terms. I mean, this is all like speculation, but we can assume that that's why she won't even come back for like a cameo. But
and they couldn't get Jane because she's busy helming her own show over
also, I think it would be kind of weird if they like finally brought Jane Levy back and everybody would be like, okay, like we're just acting like we're just acting like this is fine.
They're gonna pull a WandaVision
for real. It's just yeah.
Okay, who do we want to go to next? Lip, Frank, or V?
Let's do V.
V. Okay. I was thinking Kevin V. Well, Kev doesn't really do anything but hang out in the
bar.
Kev
doesn't do anything.
He's just kind of like, he's just there to help everyone else's story.
Well, it was funny when they were like in Kev Fit and he was like, I don't want to know what you're using it for. And then Ian was like, stash stolen bikes. So true to his character. I don't want to know what you're using it for. He is so stupid. Every day he wakes up and he drinks dumb people juice. He is so dumb. I love him.
But V, while Kev is in the bar, V is making moves. V's storyline hit me hard. V's storyline, now that I know what it's building to, I see the foundation they are laying for getting V and Kev the fuck out of the South Side.
Yeah. Also, like, with this whole rent control, like, V foraying into politics thing that's happening. I mean, like, okay, their reasoning for doing these school shooting drills, as somebody who's been in school since, like, been in middle school, high school since Sandy Hook, it's like they really do kind of do drills like this. Like, they will do drills where you have to practice evacuating the building, running away. Yeah. Like, they'll come over the loudspeaker and be like, the shooter is in this area of the school. Discuss what you're going to do. If you decide that you were going to evacuate, if this is real, actually leave.
Oh yeah, I've been through those drills too. And like, honestly, just like V was saying in this episode, I always thought during those drills, I'm like, 95% of school shootings are committed by a member of the student body who has been through these drills and knows what the procedures are.
Right.
That's really funny. I love seeing how shitty my school is, because the most cool shooting thing we did is just kind of like get against the wall. Like
that
we
was
had
what
no
it used to be.
precaution.
And then after Sandy Hook, the standard kind of like slowly started changing, where it was like they adopted like Alice.
We didn't even get any of the drills after any of the major ones. Like, we never practiced routines or anything like that. So
I went to a heavily POC school, so we got threats from white supremacists like a lot. So we had a lot of drills.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know, it's kind of funny, like it almost alienates the out of country audience, because they were I saw a lot of people like on Tumblr and Twitter being like, okay, I'm not from the US, like, is this for real? And it's like, yes but no. Like, Shameless is a little dramatic. I don't think they actually do stuff like that, but it's like,
oh yeah, nobody actually hands a kid a Nerf gun and says pretend to be the shooter, but like the teachers will rattle the door and make you feel like there's actually somebody in the hallway.
Yeah, or like kids getting so nervous that they will like bring, like the brownie pan thing. I was like, that might not be that far off. Like, I feel like little kids could get so nervous that they would be like, can I bring something to school?
I definitely feel like when the shootings were like a very high, like during like, what was it, like 2-ish years ago or whatever, I remember definitely seeing like people talk about like, dude, like my like kids like took so and so to their book bag that I didn't know that, like, to protect them, and they were like scared or whatever. And I was like, that's the most
every
realistic
year
thing.
Before the pandemic, I mean, people were crazy. They were like, oh, school shootings have been down since the pandemic. It's like, that's because we're not in school.
Yeah, no one's going door to door. No one's looking up the school directory.
I'm actually a little bit thankful that after this election, there was like still the pandemic going on in a weird way, because it's like no one was in school. I feel like there would have been a lot of in-school violence.
Oh yeah.
So I'm almost like weirdly thankful that school was not in person.
Oh yeah, there's no way that a white supremacist wouldn't have like targeted a certain area like after the election. Like that, I absolutely 100% see that happening if we weren't still going virtual.
Yeah, literally storm the Capitol. Like, schools are not off the table.
Yeah, but yeah, V's storyline, I really like that, like, V gets to take initiative. It seems like Shanola might have had a lot of input in V this season, especially knowing that she directs an episode.
I cannot
because like V seems very forward moving and very like, her storyline seems to be going really well, and not like the stunted little nothing storylines that Kevin V normally get that last like 2-3 episodes.
Not even like they'll have like one to like 1.5 episode arcs, and it's like, this is boring. I like these guys.
Like their whole plot seemed like it was just going to be like the weed business, and like now we haven't heard shit about it, and it's more so like the only people who are involved in that line are Ian and Mickey, because they have to do the deliveries, and we see them like in a back shot selling and stuff, but like they don't even like really discuss their job and like their money.
I mean, it seems like a pretty
doing.
Stable thing for them at the moment, like for everybody at the moment. The weed thing is just kind of like their stable job right now.
Yeah, like at least it's a through line that they like didn't just forget about. Like it's a thing it's happening subtly in the background, but it's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really V is like one of my favorite stories to watch this season. I'm really enjoying seeing Shanola have a good time. Also, is it me or are the Here's What You Missed on Shameless clips at the beginning just getting longer and longer and longer and longer?
So this week's was Kevin V's, and they were just going at it behind the bar, but it was really long. It was very long.
Was it? Yeah, they were going at it behind the bar. I was thinking, I'm rewatching. There was one where they walked up and she was like, are you like, it was a very long conversation where it was like, oh, they have that metal plate in their head. Like, I remember that one from like season 10. Ian's wasn't like that long. The episode before where he was like in the tub. It was
like the one in like the episode 1 with Frank's, like that was unbearably long.
Yeah.
And then this one seemed really fucking long too. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to kill time, but if anything, they need more time in an episode.
Okay, Lip. Let's do Lip. First of all, Mickey checking in on Lip's sobriety. I love brother-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I really hope that they don't gloss over Brad and Lip basically going on their bender. Like,
I think Lip is still secretly drinking.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a little reveal.
Because they made it so prominent, like when him and Brad were like sitting together, he was like, pop, like making like sure, like, hey, we are drinking soda. Like, I really hope that it's not just really glossed over, because I'm glad someone else said something besides them two, and Mickey was like, that's what an addict is. Like, one night isn't just one night.
And there's like kind of a tense moment in like a conversation with Lip and Tammy where she's like, well, check in with me before you go off the deep end. And like the look on his face was not only like, but I did last night and I'm not telling you. It seems like he might still be low-key drinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I hate to say it, it's too late in the season to be breaking his sobriety this close to the end.
Yeah.
It is too late.
Unless they're going to do something really nasty to him in the end, like...
What, like kill him?
Just make him just, like, go full off the deep end and Tammy pieces out or something like that. Like, you know
but, like, nobody wants that for them.
Yeah, nobody wants that. So, like, I don't know why they would put in such a big plot line for, like, last, like, 3-4 seasons that has been his main character, fiasco or whatever, for them just to be like, we got drunk right when then we decided to steal some bikes, but now we're gonna be fine and drink soda.
The stolen bikes thing is a plot line for a while, like for at least 2 more episodes, I think. I will say, like, I did miss Lip kind of being a delinquent. I mean, like,
I love that part of him.
Because it's like, since he got sober, he like doesn't get up to fun little antics anymore, and like that's fine because it's what he deserves. He deserves a stable life, but it's like, oh no, it's kind of fun to see him being like a quote unquote bad boy again.
Oh yeah, I love, especially involving his 2 brother-in-laws, involving Brad and involving Mickey, and being like,
I thought that was a cute little pairing.
Well, everyone was hoping that Brad would be like, who the fuck is this? And Mickey would like have to be like, oh, I'm his brother-in-law or something. But apparently they already know each other. I'm sure they already know each other. Brad comes around the house all the time. Like, of course they already know each other. People were like speculating. I was like, are you guys dumb?
Like, it's super cold in here. Yeah, it's a refrigeration truck. It didn't have a lot of fucking choices, Brad.
Brad, like, he's like, you asked me, like, very last minute. I will say it is very telling of stability in relationships that Mickey told Ian that they were going to go rob Born Free. He already knew about it, but Lip did not tell Tammy.
Oh yeah. I
hate to say it.
Oh yeah.
And Ian did not get too on Mickey's ass about doing criminal stuff. Mickey's like, I was doing your fucking brother a favor. Shut the fuck up. And like, Ian, they dropped it.
Ian last week stole an ambulance. Mickey stealing bikes is the least of their worries right now.
Yeah.
Well, plus it's like, how would they trace that back to Mickey? It is so easy to trace it back to Lip and Brad because it's like they both got fired. They both used to work there. They were obviously very mad. But it's like, who's to say that Mickey's helping?
Why are you keeping the boxes in your home? Put everything at KevFit.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't even decide to like put it in like a small, like even more disclosed thing. She was like, wow, Born Free got stolen. Oh, are those Born Free boxes that we normally don't have that are on the shelf?
I can't believe he didn't even put them in new boxes.
I was like, you dumb ass. But also, like, I feel like Lip is smarter than to get fired, then the next day go steal the place he got fired from while also assaulting the fucking new manager of it. Like, they're so easily the first targets to be, looked at or whatever, but who knows how this is going to rope out. Because
apparently
they even mentioned,
the owners of Born Free are, like, in the mob, so they're probably, Born Free is probably a front for something else. Like a money laundering front.
It Brad's main business? It was Brad's business, correct?
Yeah, and then they sold it to those 2 younger guys. Yeah. So it's like, if it's a front for something, because they're in the mob, they probably don't even give a shit. But also they're like, we're in the mob, we can't have people come poking around.
Yeah.
So they probably won't even report it, maybe.
And that'll come up in the next couple episodes. But Jeremy Allen White was fucking doing it this
He's
episode.
Always fantastic. He's consistently giving amazing performances, and it's really hard to believe that Shameless was his first acting job ever.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, he consistently gives some of the best performances, and it's like, okay, movie career? Like,
he's been carrying the show for a while.
This episode, not gonna lie, this episode belonged to Jeremy Allen White, Noel Fisher, and William H. Macy. Like, this episode belonged to them.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about Frank in a few, but like, people really do not.
Let's talk about Frank. Yeah, let's talk about Frank.
They do not give William H. Macy enough credit for being, and I mean, we already know he's an Academy Award nominated actor. He's fucking amazing at what he does. Sometimes the writers do not give him good enough material to show that off.
Mm-hmm.
They do not, and this season they've decided to.
Yeah, I mean, he does make Frank like likable. That's the thing, is that I'm like, if it was literally anybody else playing Frank, I would be like, I hate this guy. Get him off my screen. But it's William H. Macy. And I think he's kind of neat.
Like I said, every other season, I don't give a flying fuck what the fuck Frank is up to. But this season, it is so compelling and interesting.
Because they gave us something to look forward to, or something that actually, like, intrigues us with his story. Because, like, his stories over the last, like, handful of seasons, like, have just been the same thing, but just, like, mix match, like, throw in a different drug, or a different girl, or a different substance, or a different event, or etc. And then, like, this one is just, like, it's really nice because, like, I actually care for once, and I actually, like, was like, this one hurt a little bit more because, like, now it's actually, like, given us what's happening, even though we were, like, suspecting it the entire time.
I could do without a Frank sex scene. I could do without it.
You know what, though, Amanda? I didn't mind the Frank sex scene because...
Of the Monica thing?
Well, at first I thought he was just calling her Monica because it was like, oh, it's like a sex thing. Like, he just wanted to call... Because he's, like, still not over Monica. But then when she was like, you know, when we're not having sex, you can still call me Monica. And he was like, he had to take a moment and be like, wait, she's not Monica? Like, I actually really liked that.
Oh, it was a lot of the little moments in this one with him, too. Like, in the kitchen, too. When he's sitting there and everybody's buzzing about doing their business in the morning in the kitchen. And he's just kind of sitting on the dryer, sort of taking it in. Like, you could sort of tell that he's not entirely sure who or what everything is. Like, he's just a little bit out of it. Like, the little moments are really killing me with him in this episode.
Yeah. I think he's great. I'm very excited for what's to come. I'm kind of sad, like, because they're killing, like, I mean, they're gonna, like, kill both dads. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, I want Terry to die. I've wanted Terry to die, but, like, I'm like, aw, I'm gonna kind of be sad when Frank dies.
That scene with Frank and Terry on the porch?
Good. That was really good.
And, like, I feel like it's just a nice little piece of vindication even for us, even for Ian and Mickey people in that scene. He's like, I guess I could put you out of your misery, but I don't fucking like you that much. Like, it was...
The whole, like, Gallagher-Milkovich rivalry, and it's like, if anything, it's kind of cementing a Gallagher win, because it's like, yeah, they had, like, two Milkoviches basically marry into the family. Like, we fucking won, and no one's gonna take care of you.
You 3 Milkoviches fall in love with Gallaghers, and 2 of them are still around. Like, fuck you.
Well, we'll see about Sandy, but... Oh, we didn't even talk about Callista, the woman that Debbie met at the gay bar when she was working.
That's because I refuse to acknowledge anything about Debbie's storyline. Like, I'm so angry that I hate the queer woman in this show, but I fucking hate the queer woman in this show. Like, Debbie is the worst, and I hate that they keep giving her shit.
Well, plus it's also, like, because I feel like Callista's gonna show up again. Maybe it'll be, like, a little love triangle thing, and she'll choose her over Sandy or something. I don't know, but it's, like, they didn't make her interesting enough. So, like, she didn't grab me. She did not grab me.
Agreed.
Yes.
Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Noel Fisher ate this episode. He ate this.
He said, I own Shameless.
From the moment he walked in that little beanie, he said, this episode is for me.
Because he's like, not only did Mickey, like, have a really great storyline on his own, but it's like he was helping out with everybody else's. And I was like, okay, bestie.
Also, the looks, he turned looks in this episode. In the beanie, in the denim jacket, and then in the fatigues.
Oh, yeah.
Turning looks the whole fucking time. He was doing great.
I cannot get over how old Noel looks now. I can't get over it.
Oh, yeah. That close-up shot.
It's like they keep filming so close to his face this season, and it's like you can really see every damn wrinkle.
And I want to put respect to Cameron, too, because so much in this story, like, this was clearly Mickey's story to tell, and Ian's just to kind of be there. And Cameron did the same thing for Noel that Ian was doing for Mickey in this episode. He was there, he was around, and he was giving support, but, like, he was letting this boy fucking shine.
Like, he was, like, he wasn't taking away from the storyline. And it's like a lot of people made it about, like, okay, because it's like a lot of people make every single week, they're like, oh, Galavich, like, in love, kissing, smooching, having sex. But it's like, no, this episode was, like, not about that. It was about Mickey as an individual. It was not about their relationship. And, like, yes, you can be like, oh my God, the support system, like, it's great. They're so, like, they're really good at being married. Well... But it's like,
it was also the little moments of checking in and, like, the little, like, he touched Mickey's chest in the morning when Mickey got them all donuts. And he, like, saw Mickey struggling with watching Terry come out of the thing, and he, like, grabbed his shoulder and checked in with him. Like, he was just there.
Right, but it's like, this episode was really good at being like, this isn't about Ian and Mickey's relationship because it's stable. This is about Mickey as an individual.
Yeah.
Yes. This is them remembering a story that they built up that they had convinced us they'd forgotten about. And then, like, just that, firstly, the moment of Terry getting out of the thing and Mickey just standing there and Ian going, like, should we help him? And Mickey's cold, nope. Like, fuck off, Noel. Like, that alone was good. But then the scene where he put the gun to Terry's chest, and, like, Noel had one line in that whole scene.
Wasn't it, like, shut the fuck up?
No, he, like, they pulled up in the ambulance, like, I have to take a shit, that's why we're home. And then he says absolutely no words until Ian's like, what was that? And he says nothing. Like, that was it. Like, but the power that Noel has with no words, like, that scene has been living in my brain on a loop since I saw it. Like, it was fucking brilliant.
Like, I didn't see Noel at all in that scene. Like, the look on Mickey's eyes, like, you could see how glossed over, and, like, it was so good. Me and Sebastian were just like, oh my god.
It's also like, you never see Noel. It's like, okay, here.
We
like,
see Noel.
When he's in character, I'm literally like, that's two different people.
Yep.
That is two different people.
That scene, and then the scene later on, when they're on the couch, and Ian's like, would you take care of me if I was paralyzed? That moment, too, was such a merry little, like, just with their eyes, it was Mickey going, like, thank you, I needed this connection with you right now, like.
Well, because they both know the answer, and the answer is fucking obviously, and also, like, I already did. But it's, like, like, the little, like, because they're, like, kind of making a joke out of it between them.
But it's also the acknowledgement, like, yeah, you're not jumping up to help your abusive piece of shit dad, but you would help me because you love me and you're a good person and you help the people that you love. Like, it was such a significant thing. And then, like, and again, earlier in the episode, when they were watching Terry get pulled out of the ambulance, Ian asks permission, should we help him? And Mickey says no. And then when Mickey's dragging Terry up the stairs, Ian goes, should I help you? And Mickey says yes. Like, Ian's just really communicative and really good at just being there.
Well, because he's like, what do you need from me so I can help you? And it's like, this is what I've been waiting for.
We love to see it finally after a whole 10 seasons. We get it.
Fucking finally.
And that is in big part due to Noel and Cam's chemistry too. Like, Noel and Cam work so well together that I believed every moment of that.
But also, like, I'm sure demands behind the scenes, because I know that they had conversations with the producers being like, at least Cameron, like, has said in interviews, he was like, I told them that I don't like when they fight. And I'm like, okay, so you're the reason that we're getting everything good.
He's the reason they even brought Mickey back in the first place. Like, we respect
Well, yeah, because he was like, I'm bored. I'm leaving. I'm happy with everything my character did. And then they were like, oh, but, like, Mickey back. And he was like, this is worth exploring.
But I love, even somebody tweeted, like, we better not be sleeping on Noel in this episode, and Steve Howey said he's one of the best actors in Hollywood. The actor who played Cash responded 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, they were only in, like, 2 scenes together. But he was like,
and in both of them, Mickey was slapping him around.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Howey, like, I have my own reservations about Steve Howey, but it's like, well,
he does put
when
respect
he's right,
on Noel's
he's right.
Name, not the person we needed, but the person we deserved.
Shanola was live tweeting during the episode too, like during that scene where he confronts Terry, and she's like, at the end of the day, it's his dad. I'm like, that's not what that look was. That look was, I am better than this, and he, like, can let it go, and letting Terry suffer is a greater punishment than putting him, like, Terry was asking to be put out of his misery.
He asked Frank and he asked Mickey. He was like, shoot me. Just fucking do it.
They both said, suffer.
Suffer, bitch. Actually,
just
that
suffer.
Makes me worried, is it's like, if it's like redemption, like getting what's coming to you, they might not even kill Frank. They might just stick him in a nursing home.
No, I think they're gonna kill Frank.
I honestly, because, like, Monica's death was really impactful, I would honestly think it would be good if they, well, okay, so, like, consider this. Episode 11, everybody goes their separate ways. Episode 12, set a teeny weeny little bit in the future, just enough that it's like not everybody's moved on too much with their lives, but they're like older, and they all come back together because Frank died.
Yeah.
And then that's like, and then I feel like if then that could be the possibility of getting Emmy just to become like just that one shot of like all of them walking into like the room, or do you think we don't even need her for that finale?
We don't need her for that.
No, and I don't think she would agree to do it anyway. Plus, she would probably have to like quarantine and stuff, and it's like, I don't think she would want to. I think they really burn their bridges. I mean, Emmy doesn't follow anyone. I mean, I know like they're probably like the actors are still on good terms. Yeah, she doesn't follow anyone except Jeremy and Cameron. And then the Shameless like Showtime account posted a photo of her and Shanola like for Valentine's Day or something, like best friends, whatever. And they didn't even tag her.
Damn.
And it's like, okay, I feel like she's like, I've made my position known.
That kind of signifies.
Yeah.
Like I think she has,
but like,
I think she has beef with John Wells and.
Me too.
I also have beef with John Wells. Can you believe that people were like, we had to bully him into visiting set? He like was not on set
he's not directing the final episode, and he's not even going to be there.
And neither is Mark Mylod. And Mark Mylod is like, I'm bestie. I love that guy. But it's like not like who are they going to have do it?
What if Bill Macy does it? What if they kill Frank off in episode 11 and then Bill Macy directs episode 12? That would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. Bill Macy's a great director too. Like he did like
the mental health ward episode that he did.
Yeah, he did 506
Ian.
because he was like
507.
He did 507. Well, I remember.
Which one was that?
Ian in the yellow shirt in the mental institution when Mickey goes to visit him. William H. Macy directed.
Oh yeah. I remember Bill Macy doing an interview and being like, Noel legit cried. Like he was legit crying while we were shooting those because he was so sad for the characters.
After he hugs Ian, like Mickey wasn't supposed to cry, Noel just couldn't keep it in.
Yeah. Fucking
Yet
bitch.
another reason Noel Fisher and Jensen Ackles should be in a thing together. They are in touch with their emotions, with their characters.
I don't think I could even handle that.
They both just really like connect emotionally with their characters. Like they really just like make them a part of them. Yeah, I mean obviously like Noel is like basically nothing like Mickey, but he's still just like, he just has a lot of like empathy for him.
Yeah.
Which is also why I really like Mark Mylod. If you like listen to interviews and stuff he does like about Shameless, he really just like has a lot of empathy for the characters.
That's another reason I think if Mark can't do it, I'd like Bill to do it, because I know that Bill loves and respects Mickey as a character, and like
I think Bill is just a cool guy. I understand like the caution around him because his wife is Felicity Huffman, but it's like I think genuinely he's probably a really good guy.
I think he's neat.
I think he's awesome. I think he's fun.
But yeah, he killed it in this episode. When they give him interesting stuff to do, he's actually, you remember why he wins so many awards. Yeah. But him, Jeremy Allen White, and Noel motherfucking Fisher just held this episode up on their backs. And we love and respect them for that.
We really do.
It's also just like the whole thing with Frank's storyline that's choosing dementia to be his end is so heartbreaking, is because it's like Frank's thing was always that his mind was like still there.
Yeah.
He was like, I might be old, I might be whatever, but he's like, I'm very smart.
Yeah. Like, he was a drunk and a drug addict, but he went to college. Like,
he was very smart. He always like, he knew how to pull one over on people, and like he understood the way that people acted. Like he was very charming most of the time, and it's like, to make it so that his mind goes, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah.
Well, and people were saying, like, what if he forgets, like, he has another, like, Emily moment where he forgets that Debbie's grown and he thinks that Franny's, like, a young Debbie.
Oh,
fuck.
Ow.
Ouch. Ouch. Or, like, Freddie is, like, a young Carl.
I cannot believe I'm out here in the year 2021 caring about Frank. But
I know.
But I do. I care about him. I care about him. I mean, like, it was fun to watch him in season 4 when his liver was failing, because it was like, obviously everybody knew that wasn't the end, but it was like really fun to see like what that brings out in other people.
Yeah.
When is he gonna tell them?
I know, that's exactly, like, we're still at the point where like no one knows, where this is the first time where he's getting confirmation that his mind's going a whirl. But like, I feel like, I don't know, the stereotypical, whenever Frank says anything, they're like, we don't care, shut up Frank, get out Frank. So like, I wonder like if it's gonna hit anyone, like being like, oh,
I wonder if he's just never gonna tell them. If Frank's just gonna like walk off into the lake and just like never acknowledge it.
I mean, I would think that, except like in the episode descriptions that I read you guys, some of them say like it's Liam's turn to watch Frank for the day. So it's like they're kind of like doing it in shifts. I feel like somebody is going, either he's going to slip really bad, somebody's going to be at the hospital with him and they're going to be like, you guys know he has dementia, right? Or somebody's going to find that piece of paper in his pocket somewhere.
Did he throw the paper or did he just put it in his like pocket?
He put it in his pocket.
It was a piece of paper. Yeah, my name's Frank Gallagher. I live at 2119 North Wallace.
And I
have early stage alcoholic dementia. I feel like somebody's going to find that like in his pocket or something, because they've made a bunch of jokes like, oh, when Frank passes out, we check his pockets for money.
Yeah.
And it's like,
everyone still probably does that.
Chekhov's gun. Somebody's going to find that damn piece of paper.
Yeah. I'm just so if this episode is an indication that Shameless is remembering that it used to be really good, and this is like the quality we get for the last 6 episodes, I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
This episode was Shameless remembering what it was in like season 4 and 5. Like this was good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it was almost like the switch that happened in season 4, where it was like yes, the first season of season 4, the first half of season 4 was like, I'm pretty like, because it's a dark winter season, but it's like the second half was like this immediate switch into like a heavily dramatic.
Yeah, and then we get Emily. Like,
well, and it's like you get the Jailbird episode, you get Hope Springs Paternal, you get Emily, you get Survival of the Fittest. Like it's like all of those episodes, banger after banger, banger after banger, and I'm hoping that that's what happens again. I'm just sad that we have to wait 2 weeks because we have to have 2 Hall of Shames.
Yeah,
but
then it's going to be boom, 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 boom. It's going to be done by April.
Yeah.
Oh damn, they're knocking that shit out.
But yeah, they finished filming. By the time this goes up, they might be finished filming the series.
Yeah, they're on
11 right
11
now.
still. Yeah. They're filming right now because Emma's posting on Instagram.
Shanola was too.
So we know that they're like filming right now, but it's like, well, they'll finish by the end of this week. They'll start production on 12 next week.
I kind of love that they couldn't go to Chicago, so there wasn't people around seeing them shoot, except for like things that they have to go off the lot to shoot. So I kind of love that we don't know anything until the stills come out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we knew like everything last year.
It was like that, and then somehow like audition sides got leaked because they can't have like a million billion extras now. So it's like, it's fun because like people were leaking like the scripts, like the audition sides, and it's like, now it's like, I'm in complete mystery.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do like, I love that people get screeners early, and I love to know what happens, but it's also like, I almost wish I could just go in blind.
Yeah. And I feel like I went in as blind as I could too, with the screeners that went up and like the photo stills that we got like officially from Shameless. Like we knew that Terry was going to be outside in the chair, but like that scene slapped me in the face.
I mean, like we knew, like, well, the screeners came out pretty late this week. They only came out on Friday, like the day before Saturday, because like we watch it at midnight. But it's like, I almost wish, because sometimes they don't get them. I almost wish for the next couple episodes they're like not going to send them out.
They're probably not going to get them for the finale.
Probably not.
Oh, true.
Maybe not for episode 11, but probably everything up until then. So maybe I'll just try to like avoid spoilers. So that way I can have a better experience and be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Like I liked kind of jumping in blind. It was nice. But yeah, it was a seriously top 3 Mickey episodes for me. Top 3.
Yeah, I guess I could, now that I'm like really thinking through it, for me it's probably like top 5. Maybe not top 3, but like
That's
top
fair.
5.
Yeah.
How about you, Evan?
Probably top 5 as well at this point.
Just because I really do have a soft spot for like season 3. I'm like, he's a fun little guy.
I enjoy season 4 so much that there's just so much in season 4 that's just like boom, boom, boom.
All right, so let's wrap it up. We got to get out of here. Lena's got to go get a COVID test. I'm sending you positive, negative test thoughts.
I'm feeling better. You know, it might have just been caffeine withdrawal. I haven't had coffee for the past 2 days.
That'll do it to you.
But we shall see.
I'm very excited. Like I said, this is going to go up right after Fiona's Hall of Shame comes out on a Tuesday, and we're going to figure out our posting schedule for the rest of season 3. You know, life is crazy. We'll record season 3 episodes whenever we can. Yes, but the first one is up as of today when we're recording this, February 16th. Season 3, episode 1 is up right now. So we'll put everybody's Instagrams and shits in the description of the episode right below this. Listen to us on all of the things. Check out my other podcast, Skip to the Gay Parts. I promise the second part is going up soon. And thanks for hanging out with me, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful time as always.
Again. Oh, thank you so much.
All right, let's get out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.